Hey, what's up everybody? Chris Jacobs here with another Optima Batteries High Performance House Call. This time we're going to be talking to my buddy James Clay. He's out in Dublin, Virginia at his shop Bimmerworld. Let's FaceTime him and see what's up.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
James, how you doing, man? How you been doing during the lockdown? You guys are able to stay busy?
Man, we're doing well. It's pretty wild times, but I've got everybody here working. Unfortunately, our race team is not on the road, so that's we're doing different work, and we're also of course doing it differently. We have to, it's a different world now. We have to take different precautions and do things. We run a safe organization as a business in motorsports, so safety now means something pretty different to us.
Smart. Yeah, you guys are doing a great job of keeping everybody safe.
Yeah,
well, the main reason I'm calling you or FaceTiming you is because I want to see the shop over there at Bimmerworld. So why don't you show us some of the toys you got under that roof?
All right, well, let me flip you around here. So just roughly, and one thing that we're doing to stay busy or to keep my shop guys busy is we're building race cars. So these are a couple of E46 customer cars, and there's our Optima race car. Here's another E46 car in progress. So we're just taking the opportunity to stack these things as deep as we can. Economies have changed. I don't necessarily have customers for them right now, but I didn't have the time to build the ones I needed to before. So it's been a great opportunity. I can just stack them away, and then once this whole mess is over, we'll, I'll have customers for race cars, and we'll maybe sell some race cars.
That is a beautiful roll cage you have, and the one that you just panned away from there. I mean, it's so cool to see these builds at this stage because you can really see all of the custom work that goes in to not only making these cars safe, but wow, I mean, that's some great tube welding right there.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, this is for us, this is a spec series. It's super popular. This is a standard cage kit that we sell for these cars. And yeah, I've got some pretty crafty guys putting them together and doing the work here. So, yeah.
So start to finish, what would it take you guys to install one of those cage kits? And then how long would it take the average consumer to install one?
Man, start to finish. So if I start with a stripped out car that's just totally ready to rock, ready to have the cage put in, we're looking at about 40 hours or so, 40, 50 hours maybe. And honestly, this is kind of a for professional installation only kind of deal. Roll cages, you got to have the welds. They've got to be 360, which is super tight, when we start getting into crevices and so forth. So, it's got to be right. So I'd say professional installation recommended, and everybody's going to be in that 40, 50 hour range for one of these cars in total, and I'm talking stripped down to bare chassis, maybe 200 hours, 220 hours for a build. I always call the builds like this my piggy bank. So this is when I have guys that have time, our primary job is running the race team. But if I have free time, we can just put work in the piggy bank, and at some point we'll sell it and monetize it. So that's what we're doing right now.
All right, well, you know what? Take us over to the Optima race car because you just flashed by that real quick. I want some more detail on that bad boy.
Thing's sexy, right? And it's sexier when it's running around a racetrack. So yeah, this is our Optima Batteries BMW M4 GT4. This is our IMSA version of that, and we've been an Optima partner for lots of years now, and so we have multiple versions of this. But this is the one I run in the IMSA series with my co-driver Devin Jones. M4 race car built by the factory. So unlike these others that we're building, BMW built this. We work on it, we tune it, we make it, we take the tools, make it faster, and make it win races. When we're racing, which is not right now.
How long has that been since you've had that car on the track?
So we started our season with this car at Daytona, so end of January, and now we're just waiting. There's good news ahead though. I think we'll be able to start testing early May, and if it comes off, and of course we're waiting to see how the world reopens. If it comes off, I have a race scheduled in June at VIR in Virginia, and then we're still questioning whether we're going to be able to go to New York, but late June, New York, Canada, Lime Rock, which is right over New York City. So we'll see.
So James, we all know as car guys that cars don't like to sit. You know, they like to be driven. Are you guys running those cars on the dyno to keep them fresh? What are you doing to make sure that things don't atrophy?
Well, man, these cars are just fine sitting. So we let these things sit a little bit. We've been able to work on them though. You know, we're not running them around the racetrack. We're not tuning them on the track, but we are doing a bunch of rig work. You know, the race cars aren't getting run, but you know, we know how to tuck them in and keep them cozy for a few months. We do have some street cars that are getting run, and you know, stuff that here's a little wagon of mine. This thing was brought in from Sweden about 10 years ago. We've made it a little bit faster and more fun since then. Sitting on its OPTIMA charger currently, because this is my weekend car for this weekend. So that's one of the cool things that's happening right now as well. You know, I don't always get an opportunity to drive these things because I am running around so much. So now I get to, you know, grab one of the fun cars we built for the weekend and take it for a ride.
That's a really cool. So you say that car was imported from Sweden about 10 years ago. I'm not real familiar with BMWs, but that body style definitely looks like a Euro version.
So this is a European version. That's why I brought it from Sweden. This is what we call an E36, so a 92 to 99 car. We never got the touring. We never got the station wagon, and I'm a wagon guy, so we built this puppy. This originally came with a 2-liter inline 6 motor. So we doubled that. It's got a 4.4-liter V8.
I was gonna say I don't see an inline 6 anymore.
No, this thing's a monster now. So it's this is a pretty unique swap into this body anyway. Whether you know, for an E36 at all. And so to have in the U.S. an E36 touring with a V8, and man, this thing just rumbles down the road. It's pretty amazing to have a European car that definitely doesn't sound very European.
And what trans do you have backing that up?
Stock trans from the car, so 6-speed manual.
Now that's really cool that you have a station wagon with a manual transmission. I mean, that's pretty unusual, especially in the States. That's really cool.
That's right. You got to row 'em, man. You got to earn it.
That is a beautiful car. So what exactly is being done to it right now? Why is it up on the lift with the
So right now it's because this thing has sat for about a year and change. We're just kind of going over it. You know, luckily the guys have time to kind of do this stuff. We go over it, and then you know we have a maintainer it sits on. But and one of the big things that we're worried about through this whole mess is cars that sit that don't get driven a lot like this. What do we do with them? And so you know, this one specifically is hooked up to its IV, right? We're pumping the juice into the battery and making sure that OPTIMA in that car is ready to rock when it's time to go have fun.
Way cool. All right, so you've got the race cars, you've got customer cars, obviously. Are there any just fun projects that you guys work on over there at Bimmerworld?
Well, yeah, everything we do is fun, man. Come on. So this is another one, and this car looks a lot like these customer cars we're building, but this is our champ car. So this car, unfortunately, my people in my office have their own race team, and so they get to build their cars and work on it, and you know, we fund the deal, and it's just everybody that works here gets to go racing if they're willing to put in the time to work on the car.
Now hang on a second. Did you say fortunately or unfortunately?
Well, okay, so unfortunately, we flipped the previous car 6 times in right before this whole mess started. So fortunately, we get to go racing. Unfortunately, every day at the racetrack is not a good day, unlike what I've heard some people say. This is the replacement car, and
Gotcha.
we we wouldn't normally, given how busy everything is with work and no help from the race team, because it's not their project. This is an office project. We wouldn't normally be able to replace that car and go racing. The guys unfortunately would be out of car for the year from wrecking the car. But now we have a new car in process, and by the time they're able to go racing together, they're going to have a brand new car to go do it in. So it's my people have been working hard in this. They've been this is weird times. It's hard times to do a job and to feel good about it, and everybody here is dug in. So things like this, where we can have something cool that gives back to the people that work here, happy to take the opportunity to do it.
Absolutely. Obviously, your shop is race oriented. Do you guys are you full service for any BMW owner? Like whatever part they need, are you guys the guys to go to, or are you just for upgrading to racing?
We will ship you any part you want. We will not install it necessarily. So our location is primarily a performance center. We do some marketing work. We do some really cool builds, things that I like. But our parts warehouse and our sales division, absolutely anything up to the pro cars, but down to the brake pads I put on my mom's car. And it all just goes out the back door, all over the U.S., all over the world.
That's great. So basically, anybody who owns a BMW should have you guys in their phone.
That's right. We should be on your speed dial. We should be on your favorites tab. We're your guys.
And more importantly, following you guys on social media. I know you guys have a big presence on the various social media platforms. What are your handles for those?
We're at Bimmerworld for Instagram and for Facebook. So we're easy to find.
And your website?
Bimmerworld.com.
That's perfect. Now, I keep hearing you say Bimmerworld, and I kind of took your cue as to how to pronounce that. I've always said Beamer, just because of BMW. Is it technically wrong to say Beamer?
Man, it's so regional, and if you live in California, it's a Beamer to you, and I get that. For our Northeast brethren, we have a Beamer as a motorcycle and a Bimmer as a car. So.
Okay. That's now. See, I didn't know that distinction. So if you're in the Northeast and you're talking about a Beamer, you're talking about a motorcycle.
That's correct. And I didn't know it'd be so contentious when I started the business and when I named the business, but it is what it is. I prefer Bimmerworld, but hey, if you're calling us to buy parts, you can call it whatever you want.
That's cool, man. Well, hey, James, is there anything else you want to show us around the shop while I got you?
I've got a lower shop. I have some work happening on one of our GT4s. It's not the OPTIMA car. And I got a new warehouse that we're working on. It's a little bit of a hike. I'm happy to, it's cool from the outside. It's nice and spacious and packed with wheels and exhaust on the inside.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so all of these wheels that are lining the row here and on all the pallet rack.
That is a huge warehouse. Wow.
Yeah, we've got, this is 12,000 feet. We just added on another 5,800 or something like that. So 17,000 foot facility.
Nice.
And unfortunately, the product moved in before we're completed with the job. So we're renovating this side. We've done an expansion on the other side. We're stumbling all over ourselves just because of the growth rate.
So that's a pretty impressive inventory of wheels. How much of your business is wheels?
It's probably about 25% of our inventory. But the reality of it is, I knew if I started that line, I needed to have immediately the inventory to support it, because the worst thing you can do is sell something to somebody and then not be able to deliver it.
Absolutely. If you're going to show it to them, you got to be able to sell it to them.
That's right. So we went big on inventory, and the launch has gone well. We're selling, and we're stacked. We'd be selling a lot more if people were racing, but they are primarily race wheels. So,
gotcha.
A bunch of MagnaFlow exhaust. They're our exhaust partner, and
Awesome. My buddy, and probably your buddy Richard Wadis would be really happy to see that.
Yeah, they're good dudes over there. They make great stuff, and I'll tell you, when I think about this whole deal, being able to be partnered with American companies, so we're able to support what we have here has been tremendously helpful for us. So and helpful for everybody. So I really appreciate that MagnaFlow relationship with an American company.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that, James. That's a really good point. That's going to be a lot of work ahead, but fortunately, you got the guys and the time to do it right now, and you're motivated because once you get it all done, it's going to be spectacular.
That's right, and when we get it all done, it's going to give us the ability to service the surge that I'm sure we're all going to see after this. I know I'm getting antsy. I know I want to be at a racetrack. I know I want to go play with toys, and we're great at providing the parts to do that. So. I'm sure we're going to be providing a ton.
Well, hey, James, man, it's been a blast having you show me around your shop. Such a cool facility, and I'm glad you guys are safe and sound over there and taking every precaution to stay that way.
Thanks, man. Thanks for checking in on us. Really appreciate it.